Hello and welcome back. I'm Joe and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're back in British Siberia. And I just got done doing the pollution test of 2025. And I got a couple answers that I really like, and that should give me all the power I need to make the next expansion actually happen and not make it happen stupidly. The short answer is less clouds means more pollution density, means more length. The 250 meter that I used as my pollution guard stick is not good enough. 300 meters is closer to what you can actually get, especially in the fabric industry over here. But we are just beyond that too. So I don't think we have too much to worry about here, even when we put two industries next to each other that are very similar, like the food production one and the fabric one. I wouldn't expect more than 350 meters of pollution from the combined areas, so we may just be in a polluting area right here, but not terrible. Also, I checked the sewage discharge is polluting the area on land really, really badly, so don't let that happen. Also, don't store too much nonsense over here because this is all pollutant that we have to take care of. Over here, the problem is not that prevalent. And they're doing just fine because we're pretty far away, industry to city-wise, so I'm not worried about that. We got all the city buildings built. Now we just need to have people actually move in here. May as well for a couple immigrants in there, because why not? So, we're moving on to the next expansion, and I built this at the very end of the last episode, and I really don't like it. So let's do this again, but there's another thing in the area that we can't just ignore. So let's look at what we can't just ignore. The thing that I don't want to ignore, these two and these two as well, the thing that I don't want to ignore is that there's a really good coal source out here. If we look at it, it is right there. There's a big one right here, and then there's another big one right there. And I just don't want to be without them. So what we're going to do is get over our excavators that we got set up a little while ago for effectively constructing these overpasses that we have here that don't have any other purpose besides be our little guinea pigs for when we want to organize a couple things here and there. So let's get them out of this construction office, demolish this construction office, very important, and then let's make sure that they actually show up in the place where I want them. Great. Let's build the, well, not build, but let's plan coal. I want to plan it here simply because it is such a high quality. 50% here, and I can get 40, 43, 42, 43 the highest. Yeah, I can get 50 and 43. That is so good that it's hard to pass up. So that's what I want to throw in there. Cool. Which means the coal industry that I was planning on thinking about over here may just turn into the vehicle product, not the vehicle production, but the steel industry that I talked about before, because there is coal right there, and there's a little bit of iron. Oh, come on, let me do the thing. Why? There we go. We got to turn that off manually first, and then that's bauxite. It's not iron, buddy. So there's iron, there's coal. They're really close together, and there's a high chance that I can just put a steel mill in here and a nice little city over there, which is one of the next industries anyway. So that's not really a problem, at least not in my book. They're almost here. I also think I figured out what I want to do with the save, which is actual independence. I don't think that I've really done that in any of the series before, so it is something new for Joe. I know it's not new for everyone else out there, but that's a thing that I would like to try. And then, well, export only via ships, honestly, and I would like to play at least until 2010. That gives us another at least 60 hours, 60 episodes to get through somewhere. And I would like to try to not go overboard size-wise and absolutely everything. Like 8 vehicle production lines were probably not the smartest move. They may have been justified, but they may have also not been justified. So let's keep all of this moving. Great. What I am thinking is I need a city here that can actually handle whatever we want to throw at it. One of the things that we're going to throw at it is a coal mine. And the coal mine needs to produce 220 workers per thing. We have 220 here, then we have 220 in another one. So we're now at 440, plus we will produce approximately, so they had 50% capacity there. And if I look at it, they can produce 4.2 tons of coal ore per person times 220, roughly 800 tons. We are at 50 and 43% not capacity, but resource quality. I translate that to 50% average, so I know that each of these mines can produce about 400 tons, which gets us back up to 800 tons production per thing. I'm never going to run these mines 100%, but 800 tons of coal ore is possible. Then I look at this guy. Coal processing plant only requires 15 workers, and it can take 210 tons of coal ore per day. So I think it's pretty safe to at least put 3 of these somewhere in this area to process all this coal ore and make something out of it. So that's what we're going to do next. Get me 3 of these, and yeah, there's another snag point right there where the game just won't let my mouse do what I want it to do, and it is so frustrating when that happens. And I hope this doesn't cause any other issues down the road to me, but it may be okay. So those 3 can just go here. At least we can pretend that a road connection can be connected here and produced here, but yeah, it's doing funny things, and I hope this is not going to come back and bite me, because there's a second point on this map where that is happening. Cool. So now we have a math of 440 plus 45, rounded up to 500 because math, times 3 per shift gives us 1,500 workers. Okay, 1,500 workers plus the utility workers and service workers. It's not a bad number because we already done that in 2 cities, but I also said I want vehicles here, and I do want vehicles, and vehicles has to be the next industry that we build because we need more money. We have $1 million debt. Yes, we're paying off some, but we're also going to start building a lot of stuff, especially around rail. So that's not going to be cheap. Speaking of rail, I did add a gravel transfer station right here for trains when they're actually going to, when they're able to do something there. So I didn't forget about that. I just did that at the end of the last episode, just in case you're curious. Cool. Ooh, we have the first big bus. Great. That means we need asphalt actually to happen relatively soon now, which is super exciting. But let's finish this before I forget, because I will forget. I'm really good at forgetting. I would like this to honestly just kind of be here. Use the excavators that we have to get this all, wow, leveled out somehow. They're actually doing a really good job. I'm kind of proud of them. But there's a lot of mountain here that they have to get through. Research program is finished. Ooh, that reminds me of something. Get this thing done. I'm gonna take it out a little bit so our road actually has a chance to connect to something, and now we have 3 connections there. But the next thing that I want for the city that I want, looking at this city, these are not small buildings, but we're not gonna get much past maybe 3,000 workers in this city. And I think I will need more, because for the new city, we already just mapped out 1,500 workers for the coal production that will eventually happen, probably one of the next industries. And then what? I said vehicle production. Yes, I know I get distracted a lot, but that's just part of the business. Vehicle production line will also require 250 workers, and I think I want to have 2 of these, because one of them is not that fun. So 2 of these is another 500 workers, so another 1,500 on top of the 1,500 that we had. Now we're at 3,000, which is what this city will be able to hold. But I think, well, we need another 1,000 for service and utility workers, so we're now at 4,000, and having some higher density housing would be nice. So let's start on the concrete utilization study. I think that would be a smart idea, going there next. Cool. Anyways, these guys did what they were supposed to do. Great. We may as well just start getting a little bit of gravel in here. Just going down the hill, because how bad can it be? It could be really bad, but this may be okay. You're going there. You're actually letting me connect to that one right away. That's wild. You need to go probably through this tiny little valley, but we can also clean that up quite a bit. Oh, wow. It really just lets us do the things that we want to do with gravel roads. It's perfect. I'm not going to plan the whole thing. All I really want to do is make sure that our conveyor belts have a way to go wherever they want to go. And ideally, this is usually the answer for all my problems, make all the conveyors just go right into the same storage, because that should enable us to make sure that everything just gets delivered pretty much at the same time. I think you would have a much better time if you just turn that conveyor belt around over here. So T, R to have the footpath, no, the road connection on the other side. Come on. Come on, I know you want to. Oh, there we go. That's fine, that's fine. Oh, come on. There. I just needed that conveyor belt connection to go the same place that it already was in. And then we're just gonna level this out. Again, another gravel road here because there is going to be a little bit of maintenance and wear and tear and those things that have to happen here. But I feel pretty good about what we're currently doing, although that's a steep little hill, and it looks like at least one or two of our excavators actually left already to get refueled, but that's fine. Come on, all the way down here. You can do it. I believe in you. Yes, you are the boss. Very good. Cool. So got road connections through there. That's great. I don't know that these are going to get built the way that they're set up right now. But I also don't know that we're not going to do anything with them. So we may as well continue them into this area just for funsies, to see what we can do with them. And yeah, sure, level out the area just a little bit. So we'll see what we're going to do with it down the road, because there is going to be a city getting here at some point in the near future. And this one doesn't feel terrible. Cool. Should you also connect this to something? Honestly, it doesn't matter. These can just go straight down here. Oh, you need a storage for this. Yep. Do you need the harbor kind of set up for this? I am really tempted to, because I don't want to go outside. Like, I don't... The harbor won't fit there, especially for the larger cargo ships that I probably want to use here if I want to... What do you need a harbor for? You just said 2 seconds ago that you would like to export things... mostly like finished products. Did you say there was a different recording? I don't remember. But if you put a harbor here, what are you going to do with it? Ship stuff to other things and places instead of using rail or export coal. I don't want to export coal. It's not worth it. Moving coal around via ship is cool, but I'm not sure that that is really necessary. Although we have an island sitting over here, and there are more islands there. So having some coal connection could be a good thing, so may as well. Let's see, can you even add one in here? I think we could if we wanted to. We just have to level out a couple things here and there, and then we should be good to go. Sure, let's do this one. It's like, I know you're saying up, but I'm just gonna go down because that's more fun. Why not? Let's see if we can just try this one again. No, it's pretty stubborn because I think it's just rock. Like, this whole area right here is really pretty much just rock. So if we want to get a harbor in there, we probably have to use with the existing shoreline and see if we can get the harbor kind of convinced to do its thing. Closer to what the landscape already gives us. Okay, this is going to take way too long. And probably not going to be worth that salt that will go into this. The salt is the sweat and tears, of course. Okay, I think you can get it in here. Because right there is rocks. This is all rocks. Rocks. Which also means you can't really make this come up. Oh gosh, if you want to do this, you need bigger excavators. Okay, let's just pretend that there is a chance that eventually there is something going to go there that resembles a harbor of sorts. I'm good with that. Let's just pretend that that is the thing that we're going to do. On top of that, we're just going to put a quick storage over on this side that is responsible for collecting all the coal that we get out of these guys. 5,000 tons is not shabby. Okay, great. Get your conveyor engines in here, and you're going to want a 3-in-1. Okay, 3-in-1 out. There's one. This one doesn't really want to converge the way that I need it to, and it's not quite connecting to the thing that we all want from it. Not great. That one kind of works, but I don't want this one yet because we have 2 more that we need to connect to. So E all the way up. Cool. This one will do the job. Okay, great. That road connection, excuse me, F1, we don't need the grid right now. That road connection can pop right down here. This one can probably pop in there if you are you feeling it? Nope, that's definitely not what I wanted. How? I'm like 40 feet away from you. Why would you destroy this thing? It's probably going to be like, by the way, you can't actually do this anymore because of the funny bug that the game has in this area of the... I am not amused with that thing. Okay, let's get another one. Get over it and get another one. There we go. Would you actually allow me to rotate this around and get the footpath connection? Not footpath, but it's a road connection on the other side. Yes, you don't mind. Okay, that kind of went in there. Cool. And then, is there an extra connection here? There's a connection there. Okay. I think you're doing it. I think you're doing the thing that you're trying to do here. Okay, the only thing that we have open then is not a footpath, but a bus station, because we want to make sure that all of these can get picked up. I'm getting way too distracted with things that we don't actually have to do right now because this is not the main thing that I want. But on the other hand, this is the thing that we need for making some money because we don't have money right now. Yes, it looks like we're not completely out of money, but we don't really have money right now. So getting a couple things organized here does not feel like a bad thing. That includes stand for garbage collection. That will probably go on this side next. There you go. And then the last one can just be here right at the end of the road. Honestly, if you actually are going to put in a harbor somewhere in this area, you don't want to be at the end of the road there. That looks good. The thing that you're forgetting, not purposefully, is a harbor, not a harbor, but a train aggregate loading one. Since this is coal, I don't mind making this a larger operation. So larger little train aggregate loading thing here. I don't know how I'm going to connect that yet. It's not entirely necessary, obviously, but I just want to have this one planned before it's too late. And as you can see, a bunch of things are actually getting done, which is wonderful. Soviet functionalism. That is the construction of those are the buildings that I actually would like for the next city that I want to build. So let's let them get done. Okay. All of that is fine. Whatever rail I'm going to put there is probably going to potentially have to cross something over here unless I get a better plan soon, or we put a tunnel somewhere. Yeah, you're going to regret that later. Sure, we'll get to that when we get to it. It'll be fine. Let's see. I need a plan of where my buildings can go for the city. This is the last processing plant that I have in the area. And I do know that they have 1.5 clouds. 1.5 clouds is less than 600 meters. So I think if I just say, this is the edge of town. We cannot go past this part. We may be okay. And then we could extend that. This is a little funky because there's that ridge going on. But we could extend that to this side as well to say everything within this like half circle and the mountain can be city at some point, and this road that currently exists there could also be a thing that we allow. I don't hate that. If you actually put your city here, you probably have a little more flexibility, and these rails don't have to stay exactly like they are right now. That's good news. 10% unemployment is really sucky, but oh, I forgot this. Yeah, that was a different thing. I did research cableways. There was a technical problem in the last episode that made this one, well, not work out the way it is. But we can start building our cableways so we can have better worker supply. I know I'm getting distracted by all the things here. E to put this as high as possible, and then you just have to make sure that there are green little wires connecting that don't say too low. And then you can run this one all the way across here. On this side, I have to make sure that I can actually get this up high enough, which there looks like it's gonna work. And then this one's the last little connection that we need, and life should be pretty good. Too steep of a descent. There we go. Nope, I saw it. Just let me in. One. And these guys will actually get a gravel connection from me because we already have a city that kind of is connected to something. Not a city, but a road. Cool. If you click this button, they may start constructing the other roads that you kind of semi-planned on the other side, but honestly, that's fine. Get that one on, get that one on, and then this industrial complex should be able to produce a lot more than it's producing right now. That's all good. You suspend construction. I just don't want to give you any ideas. You guys, no auto search for you. I have no interest for you to figure out what you're going to do here. So go away. Great. Coal kind of set up. Beautiful. I wouldn't mind putting an incinerator out here because we need that to happen somewhere. And make that a large one, simply because this area should be good for pollution reasons. But you do have to bring your stuff in, and probably by train. So give yourself a little bit of room, but I'm just going to plop it there so I don't forget. The incinerator doesn't need that many workers, so I think we can fit that into the 4,500 workers that probably will fit into this city next. Okay. The last thing that I want is about 500-meter distance from, not that one, this one. 500 meters, up to 500 meters distance for this guy. Maybe 400 meters is actually fine. Let's do this just as a marker. For the vehicle industry, because the vehicle industry is not very polluting. Like all advanced industries, there's not a lot of pollution coming out of them. So it's nice to have them around, and I did say I wanted 2 of these, so let's set them up somewhere. We're gonna have to figure out where exactly we get all our connections in, and I think I have an answer that I like better than the initial answer that I threw out here. So let's get you in there, flip you around, TRR, get you all leveled out. This is gonna look really crappy, isn't it? Potentially, yes, depending on how this comes out, but I don't think that you have that much good stuff. Oh, also, I did forget a couple crossings earlier, so there's now a crossing here and here that they can get on and off on their own paths there. That, well, it's just secondary, but it's happening. Yes, storage for these guys. They can store 150 tons of steel. That is a lot. That is a ton. They cannot store that many mechanical components and all the other things for the warehouse, but 150 tons of steel feels like that is like a train full every time, and I'm not sure that I want to store that much more steel in here all the time. So I'm very tempted to actually allow them to get handled via a cargo train station, and the quad station feels very appropriate for what I want to do here. So if we connect those here, this quad station will be able to serve as delivering directly into the vehicle production lines, as well as picking up directly from the vehicle production lines. And that is a double whammy or a double winner, depending on how you want to look at this. And no, I do want... Oh gosh, I'm building in the worst spot possible because there's so much terraforming that has to happen in this current area. But I like my idea. That's why I kind of want to build it here, and we're going to see how it works out. But I may have to move my idea downhill just a little bit because there's a lot of flat space here. I just wanted them to be kind of in walking range of what we're building out there, hopefully. So if why no, stop. Batch, suspend, go, get away. I don't want you here. These guys, look at them. They're like, I know what to do, Bob. Let's go out there, do some things. No, stop it. Okay. Speaking of storage, I would like a warehouse that can handle a little bit more than what they had available there just a second ago, which really is why I want this not cargo station, why I want this. That is a cargo station. Yeah, that's why I want the cargo station here. But as you can see, it's not actually going to fit in there the way that I need it to, because I do need these factory connections to actually be able to do the thing that I want to do in this area. And that's not going to work that way. So you're either going to go super flat on that, or you're going to build down here. If you build down here, you're not going to be able to build it in walking distance. The pollution is so little, I want to build it in walking distance, but I can't put it in this mountainous thing over here. So what are your options? How flat and unflat are we? This one, try to build on the underground effectively. That's not super helpful. Okay, I think something that we can do is a trick that I usually deploy. Actually, we have 4 excavators here. Let's just do it the right way. Raise the terrain over here. I don't think it's going to take all that long, especially if we raise it all the way through, to just get to the level that this is. And we can even it out in the middle a little bit. That's fine. But we just need... We just saw how much space we need for this to actually happen. And I don't feel that intimidated by making this a little taller. But gosh, this is going so slow. Maybe I should be intimidated by it. That is a little hard to say. Look at our numbers. 4,600 people. That looks good. 10% unemployment. That does not look good. That does never look good, actually. But it is what it is, and we can't really do much about it. And these excavators are not making the progress I need from them. Gosh, they're annoying. I already know how far we have to be away from this, so let's just move that one over. But yeah, if we can't make this flat enough to actually be useful, you may as well abandon this plan and go down a step and go into this large flatness, because that will make things probably relatively easy. Hard to say though. Okay, let's try this again because the footprint is pretty good for flattening things, so we may as well take advantage of that, at least to get relatively flat. I know it's hard to see, part of the things that I'm trying to do right now, but I'm really just trying to raise up all the land to an agreeable state that will let us do, well, what we need to do. That is still in walking range of the next stage in this little area. I like the walking distance workers a lot more than the use the tiny buses and hope that you can actually make it out there setups. So that's what I'm kind of trying to go with a little more now. But yeah, we're making a plateau here, and plateaus are not easy for factory connections to figure out what you're trying to do. So that's not actually helpful. At least we're running through winter relatively fast, so that's useful. There's an excavator that actually just came back from refueling. That's exciting. And we are getting out here. We are getting out. Research program finished. Is there another one that you want right now? I think that's the building that I needed, so I don't think there's anything extra that I have to organize from there. But the problem here is that we're actually... Well, you still have to run the rail on here, and to make the rail run on here, there's probably a little more that you have to do, but I think maybe we can make it compact enough for this to actually come through. Okay, there's another problem that you're kind of ignoring, which is you don't want to be so close to the city. 350 meters is the absolute minimum for two industries of this size, of this pollutant, to get into this area, so don't forget all of that. So how about you just make it a little wider? Okay. I think we're okay. I think we're pretty close to what we needed to do here. So let's just get started. RR, set you right here, and set you right here. That looks good. You should be pretty much mirrored of what you had before, and that's all I was looking for there. Now we can go look at top again, and you are mirrored, but you are nowhere near right next to that guy. So that was an epic fail. That factory connection is telling me that we're pretty close, so that's where we're going to go. Great. Continue, please. Cargo station. Yes, the one that we had earlier. T, just to flip that one around and then get it relatively close, but not too close, because we do have to fit some warehouses in between there, so this is good. There's a limited length that you can make your factory connections. You cannot go past that without forklifts. Forklifts have other problems. They need fuel, they need replacements, they need maintenance. They will break down. They have really slow throughput. They're not great for high capacity operations, so I recommend to just stay away from them in most cases. You will find some uses for them in chemical production for sure, and there may also be some other things that you want to use them for. So they're not completely awful, they're just not great for what we're trying to do right now. So just trust me. TRR, flip you around, get the effectively mirror creation right there. And I'm gonna dig into this ground just enough to feel good about it. And now I feel good about it. And then there, sure. That looks relatively close. Not perfect, but it's relatively close enough for B-Ball Joe. So vehicle production should be able to commence right there. Here's our middle of the road construction that just has to go somewhere, and we can just pretend that this will be our main city connections. And I don't want to terraform too much on there, but you would go in here and here. You would have your normal connection there. That is fine. And then right next to you, how about a quick bus stop? I like the I do like the standard bus stops that we can make, but this one may be a little nicer to have. So let's get that one in there. And then, very important, I do need a footpath that kind of connects us to the rest of the city. This is so that we actually get the benefit of the walking range to get to both of these industries. And you can't just get that. You do have to make sure that that is actually there. So make this road a little longer. So we have a node there. That's good. And then we have a node here. And we can't get in there. Okay. Can you get here and here? Yes, you can. So this was completely unnecessary, but we did it anyways. Now it's a better angle for driving. Cool. So far, so simple. So there's our vehicle production line. Very simply set up. We have a cargo station that can drop off all the materials in there, can also pick up all of the vehicles from there. And we have a couple warehouses that will take care of the shortcomings that we don't have covered in the not production, but in the capacity of the warehouse of the vehicle production line. Because 150 tons of steel per production line feels pretty good. Having a little more than that wouldn't hurt, but we can also bring a distribution office in here and have another local steel storage that can take care of that. And we will need a lot of steel here either way. So it feels like it's okay. We may be a little better off if we drop off our own steel, but we also have the option down the road to add a steel drop off right here and on this side. This one will be a little harder, but not impossible. So let's just continue doing what we've been doing. Great. Well, should you run the rail up here already, or what's your current plan? Honestly, I don't mind if we do. So let's get these guys some reasonable connection. Do you want to start some construction, or do you want to hoard a little bit of money before you do that? Excellent question. I don't actually have a good answer for that. Not gonna lie. Here's what we need to do. Taxiway. Yep, taxiway it up. I would like a semi-smooth... I would like something semi-smooth going down the hill here. But the taxiway says, yeah, me too. Okay, let's try this. If you go a little bit straight there, what can you... Nothing. Alright, looks like we need to do this with the rail. And nothing else is going to work. Alright, if that's the way the cookie crumbles, then that is the way the cookie will crumble here. Okay, so you go out that way. That looks fine. And the next one kind of has to go the same direction. We're just going to have to spread this out a little bit. And you still have to come up this thing. What are you doing? Effectively, this is where you want to go. Not quite like this, but this is kind of where you want to end up. So how about you just make that happen? Let's take you from there. That one's good. That one's semi-okay. That one's gooder now. That one wasn't quite there yet, and then there's a chance that we have a little bit more to do here. This is not bad. It's going to make the steel arrival a little harder, but that's okay. And we can also readjust just a tiny bit. Just in a second. Hold on. Trying to get this nice and flat. At least as flat as I can. And then, oh no. Honestly, if you just fill in the middle here now, you actually have a really good shot at just having something decent looking. So how about we just try it this way with the brute force road? That's fine. Like all you have to do is find the two endpoints that will give you the height that you want. And then we get something pretty decent out of this. I kind of like how this is working right now. Surprised how it's working. Usually it doesn't work this easy, but it is working. Therefore, here we are. And yeah, everything is good. All the stuff in the middle is filled in. The whole wall was moved to the right a little bit, but that's a lot of terraforming for whatever you're doing here, but that's fine. Okay, put a quick reminder open storage right next to this that has access to... Why are you guys already building another road now? What are you doing? Where are you going? Which one? Unfinished road. That one? You mean the one that I told you not to work on? Why did you bring people? I'm pretty sure I like a batch disabled construction on all of these things a little while ago. Why wouldn't it just accept that as the new reality of things? I don't know. Did you guys build all of these things? Yep, the cableways are all done, buddy. Do you want to take a truck and bring a couple people in there, or what's your plan? Well, I think we're going to turn off passengers and those guys here. We're going to turn off this to bring all the people there to that bus stop and split it out however you want to. That one is done. Okay, yeah, let's just get a couple cableway cars because we can. Okay, what you need to do first is to purchase new ones, purchase new vehicles on mechanisms, show all. We want the passenger wagon. Nope. Cargo wagon. Nope. I want... Where are you? Where are you? Personal car. Nope. Passenger cabin. Yes, that's the one you wanted. You wanted this one. Great. Once you have that one, you should go look what vehicles are currently available that can carry this thing. You click on that guy. Trains, but we have the YAG-10, the YAS. The YAS? That's a gravel truck. Why can you carry? You can carry vehicles up to 4 tons. That's interesting. I'm not sure that I saw other gravel trucks that do the same thing. There's a YAG open, the YAG 10 open, that's a little bigger, and then the YAG 12 open, that's also a little bigger, although the numbers don't match up because this one's 11 tons, this one's 8 tons. Whatever. How heavy are you? You are 0.78 tons, but I think you can probably only fit 1 or 2 on there anyways. So, do we have any YAG trucks available for transport? I don't think so. So what we're going to do is get an open hull. There you go. The YAG 10, we know that that one worked just fine. And how many cabins can we fit onto this station? It will actually tell you max 20. So we've just purchased one, which was how expensive? 1,500. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should get us 150 people working in the factory for the time being, which is not a bad thing. To start with, you are just parking there, and then you're going to go out here. Then you're going to come back, and now we're going to tell you what to do. Go here, pick up vehicle, go here, drop off vehicle. Please wait until unloaded. Cool. Get you started. Before we leave you, we got to make sure that you can actually pick up the thing that I want you to pick up. So come on down. You got one heavy personal car cabin. There we go. It actually just barely fits there, even though the weight was not a problem. That is a hidden requirement. The size of the thing that needs to fit on somewhere is always considered in all the vehicles. Kind of annoying, but also kind of nice. So that's what it is, just in case you're curious. Anyways, what I was trying to do was get this one connected to something. That's the wrong side though, right? Because this one really is just a return track. True. So just accept it to be the return track, which means this one is, this one is going to come all the way down here, pretty much on the outside too, and then we're really just going to have a little bit of extra extension. When is all of this going to get built? Eventually. It will be fine. You go in there, you go in there, and maybe if I look at it from the top I can see it a little better. Then you will just snake in there, and then everyone should have more than enough room to do whatever they need to do. That feels okay. Obviously, this one is not going to be just 4 tracks running like this. Let's do the inside one first. Sure. And that one? Sure. It's not perfectly pretty, but nothing you ever do is. So this one should be okay. And then that one. There you go. That one is overlapping the other track a little bit. That's ugly. Okay, let's try that again. Track laying is hard, especially if you want to try to make it pretty, but those guys are kind of feeding into what they need. And I think the intention there is pretty clear. Cool. Now, why? I know that I told you not to do this. I took this, batch suspend construction, I did this one. Look at this, is this a bug? If I do this, it's not suspended, it's just started. That is very annoying. Why? Because I need to figure out what I want to do with the rail here, because I don't really want the rail to run over these tracks, just in general, because I know that's going to be a bad idea. Okay, you have the option of routing your whole rail into this station and letting stuff happen there, but then this station becomes part of the main route that goes through here, which is also not great. So you don't really have another option besides hopping over this. There's a nice little gully already on this side that you can use to get over there, but I don't actually appreciate this. Also, this footpath is already done. You guys, not what I told you to do. It said batch suspend, not batch start. Oh well, we'll get over it. But yeah, I think our answer to this thing has to be a tunnel or a bridge. In this case, I think a bridge is more likely. But that also means that this guy, I would much rather have you go down than up. Also the same thing over here. Although the footpath, I can probably just build a like a something over it. That's not going to affect the length too much. Yeah, we have to destroy this. Do we have anyone that is willing to come all the way out here for 22 tons? Yes, you are. And then this one. This is not my fault because I told it what I wanted to do. The game just didn't accept that that's what I wanted to do, okay? Can we all agree on that? Wonderful. So they can work on that while we're doing whatever we're doing out here. Yeah, the rail just has to be done at any point that you want to do something on there. Also, there's a lot of rail already constructed here, which is kind of exciting. I do think another crossing is due relatively soon, but I think the trains are so short that it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But right now, because I made this, the tracks are actually junctioned together in a lot of places, but it looks like they made a really good progress all the way up to here, and I think the next crossing will just come on that side and that will take care of things. Cool. Let's just say construct this, but not really. We're gonna make this an under and over. Probably, honestly, the rail can probably go underneath and then potentially over here, because there is a gully that we can hop in there and then that can connect to that thing. But yeah, let's make this look pretty. Okay, speaking of pretty, snow is still here. It's April. We're so close to not snow anymore, so let's make it happen. Okay, let's build the city. I would like, if I could, a way to plan for... How many workers do you need here? Honestly, you probably need a relatively large bus station to make any of this really work. And I wouldn't mind having the bus station more at the edge of town than anywhere else. And if I place you here, if I go TRR, if I place you here, I saw that there was a footpath connection, 270 meters. So asphalt roads can probably get us the connection that I'm desiring here. So I don't mind this. Put in a bus station here, should be okay. Again, we're gonna have the rail do something special in just a minute. And now we're connecting that guy to here. And you're not letting me look through this one, are you? Cancel demolition there. Now, yep, that one is connected. That is all I needed to see. I know that I'm doing a little bit of double work here, but... B-Ball Joe had the wrong thing selected. Oops. It happens to the best and the worst of us. But let's see, this one, let's get you actually a little closer to what we just did. Footpath again over here, that looks great. Then just run a normal footpath, probably for here, honestly. And connect that to this, and then you're good. Cool. Footpath, you get destroyed because we need to move you. Yes, please, and thank you. Assign a construction, destruction offices, that is great. And go, get out of here. So, bus station right here, that is the collection area for a lot of people, which they should be able to get there. And I may make a separate one for passengers, but this also could mean that we could have all our residential buildings right here, commercial buildings again closer to on this side, and make all of that work. Okay, don't get carried away here, B-Ball Joe, because if you do that, there's a non-zero chance that you're actually overloading your bus station with passengers instead of the workers that you actually want to have here, because there is a capacity. The capacity is relatively big on this one, though, right? I think so. What is it, 2,000? 2,000 workers. You may not have a problem if you only have 4,000-ish, 4,500 workers in your area. Okay. Okay, I think we're okay. I think we are okay. 75% quality of flats is not okay, though. 80% I can live with a little better. 80, 80, 80, 80, 210. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking some really high density nonsense over here. I like it. So 210. Is this the one that you actually want? I think so. 210, 420. Okay, how are you gonna align these? 420, 630. Good job. 8 something, and then there's a little bit of space there, but we can probably use something else. And then you really just need to continue that same thing over here. So that is, this is 200. Is that what I had? Yeah, 200. So we had 800 there. Now we're at 1,000. 1,200. You're not going to get to the number that you actually wanted here. I know. 1,200, 1,400. Let's build another kind of square here. 1,400, 1,600. You're so far away from the number that you're actually aiming for. The stuff that you're trying to do may not work. 1,800, 2,000. Let's call this... Not 2,000, 2,400. That is about half of what you were aiming for. Great. Nurple flats are not going to be available for quite some time, so don't even try. The look on that one, gosh, it would be so nice if this one would tell me something about itself. But it doesn't, and it does require a bunch of steel already. That's good. 60, 60, 115. We can squeeze out of this one at 80%. Okay, maybe that is similar enough. So we are at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that is 21, 2300, give or take. So we need 20 more units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think that I like all of this. 6, 7, if we try really hard. And now we got effectively 700 more on that, so we're close to 3,000. We just need 1,000 more. There's some room here that we can utilize, so how about we just go back to what we had and try to fill in the rest. Okay, well, it's your game, so you do whatever you want, I guess. Sure. Let's look at each other like that. 1, 2. We really need just 5 of these, and if we start a little more south, we can actually get them in here. 1, 2, 3. What are you going to do here? Honestly, I'm not sure yet, but probably just 3 more. 4, 5, 6. Okay, this one out here I'm a little worried about. Can you give us any real connection here? But I don't hate the setup so far because we have kind of everything covered. I am planning on doing the grocery store right here on this sector. We're far enough away from these guys for pollution. We should be far enough away. Let's go look. Let's go look. You to here is barely 350 meters. Okay, so if we run at 100%, that one will give us a little bit of pollution. Is that a reason to stop this? Because really just that building, maybe this one, the rest should be pretty much fine. I think we can leave it the way it is. Okay, then leave it the way it is. We have our educated students at relatively high, so we may as well continue this one. Fertilization, no. Piping, no. Waste processing, maybe? Sure, because we're going to do that relatively soon, so we may as well get that one started. I think I have steel already unlocked. Yeah, the steel mill is already researched. Cool. Let's keep it going then. Yeah, that bus route goes over there. If you do want a store right here, let's figure out what our actual distance is between all the pieces that you just placed. Because, again, this is a large city with low-density buildings. Okay, remove all the dots and go from there to this bus stop. 445 meters. That person, that house is never going to get to this bus stop. Even if we try to use asphalt working paths. So that is the first thing. Is that one going to be able to go anywhere? Not like that, but like this. That one, probably not, but it's not the end of the world to have a couple houses that are only available to city needs and nothing else. They have to be able to walk towards a couple other things. So let's see what we can do with this. Sure. If we call this, nope, yep. If we call this a real path, which it is, a 100% is, and then call this the extension of that, and honestly, if you just want to go in there, that's fine. Actually, just this building is okay. Cool. And then you connect to there. Okay. Look at what it's doing. It's like, you're meant to get this started, right? I got you, buddy. Let's talk to our residential areas, because this is all I really need out of this. Get me the biggest grocery store that I can build today. Where did it go? It's so confusing when you don't have this one looking at you right away. And it is, ooh, Market Hall. 25, yeah, 35, 245. Oh, yeah. This looks like a warehouse. That's wild. We could probably pop you here. It can barely get to that one, but it cannot, I don't see it connecting to that housing unit over there. So there is a slight discrepancy right there. Are you able to get to... Yeah, if I put you there, that'd be a better place. Honestly, I don't see a reason why we can't put you there. We can just move that house somewhere else. I like this market hall. It's nice and big. It's like too big, but it's nice and too big. So I want this. That one connects to all the pieces that I need from you. So that's what we're going to do. No, stop. Don't even think about it. Not ready for that. Can someone please take this one down? That would be super. Also, this road connection is completely useless. But okay. I guess you guys decided that it's time to get something going. Stop! No, not the demolition part. I was too angry. I overreacted. Okay. Can we please be done with the winter now? I think it is about that time. I think we have like 2 or 3 days left, which will be exciting. Okay, so we said that we have this one there. There is a non-zero chance that we're actually going to be able to get a footpath, a reasonable footpath connection to a couple buildings out on this side. You want to go for here? Yeah, I kind of want to go for there because I think that fits a little better. Winter is over. Cool. You get your eyesight back. You're welcome. That is the danger of playing in Siberia, though. That you just have so much more time in the snow, and there's not much you can do about that. It's just part of the gameplay. And I don't hate it. I understand it's not always good to look at, but I don't hate it enough to just turn it off and avoid it. And I never actually got to play Siberia before. But you guys go all the way over here. That feels okay. I do know that I am supposed to get one extra building in here. And if we're doing this, we may as well utilize the extra space that I just created by moving that building out, which means one can go here, one can go here, and then I'm probably just going to put 2 right behind it. Because at least one of them should be close enough to do all the things that I wanted to do. The other one, just look for work in the city. That should be okay. Yes, I have a lot of footpaths already kind of drawn in, and I feel good about those. Just to be honest, the one thing that I would like is this guy not to really block me the way it is right now, but I don't know that I can afford that because we're already 377 meters away. I think we have a slight chance of moving you just a little further away from where you are right now. Like right here does not feel like the worst place in the world. If we put you there, if I get this footpath, happy, do you connect to the things that I want you to connect to? That one's connected, that one's connected, that one's connected. I'm not really worried about the other buildings because they're either in range of the footpath or they're in range of the shopping center already. So that should work just fine all day long. Let's get the nice short footpath connections. There's one there. Should be one here. These guys can probably just cross into the other footpath right there. That's fine. And yeah, kindergartens we'll just have to squeeze in wherever we can. We probably need 2 or 3 of them, but that's not the end of the world. And then this road technically now is getting allowed to be constructed, so that's good. Okay, are you just going to complete the rail really quick and then you do the rest later? Yes, I think that sounds like a pretty good idea. So let's make that one happen as well as this one happen. Okay. Then unpause because we probably need all of this. They can start working on the footpath, the footpaths if they really feel like it. And then let's look at the numbers. Where are we? We are in British Siberia. Very funny. No, sorry. 23 meters high here. This one's 30 meters high. I think it's telling you that it wants to be a tunnel underneath. Tunnel through? Wasn't planning on a tunnel through, but yeah, that is already going up. It's not going up all that much, so maybe just put the road at the level of where the rail is currently and then let the rail jump over it somehow. Let's see what we can do here. So we are going from 30 meters hopefully down to about 25 meters. It can be a really good dip. That is fine, but let's see what we can actually get out of this. We are getting down to 25. How deep can we go? How deep can you go? How deep can you go? We don't actually need the taxiway for this one because we are already on single lane over here. So having a taxiway here, like the other way to make this happen really doesn't feel completely necessary. This is a bridge that would end up on YouTube for trucks not reading the sign that says low clearance, don't go through here, and then they go through anyways, and then you know what happens. Okay, bridge, are you already happy? Yeah? You're pretty much happy. That's just, I like how that's just like a little bowl someone just put there, like the cereal bowl, and they're like, okay, now what? Well, if you're pretty happy with all of this, then I think all we have to do is get this one close to where we want it to be. Get a little bit of terraforming. Really, no terraforming at all. I don't believe that one bit, because there's no way this is already... There we go. Okay, I think I know what it's trying to tell me, that if I have that other piece of track there, it won't terraform. Okay, if I do this and then this. I'm scared by how little terraforming it's actually trying to do there, but okay, whatever. You can go there, you just hop over this, easy enough, nice and straight. You would hop over this, also very easy enough, nice and straight, and then all you really have to do is, well, there's two things. There's one that has to get all the way down there, and one that has to just turn around here. Neither of those should be very difficult. One of them will cross itself, but I think we are in a position where that shouldn't be the end of the world. So you go out there. You, by default, are already happy to get over this. That's beautiful, because that means I don't have to do any level crossings. Level crossings suck for traffic. Try that again, just a little better and a little less singing. Maybe? We don't have liftoff. Okay. All we really have to do here, or hopefully that's all we have to do, is raise this up just a tiny bit more than what we had already. Then continue our track just far enough straight ahead where we can get to the same connection point. And then we're going to go over this. 1, 2. This is the easiest track building that I have ever done in this game. You gotta be kidding me. Nope, never mind. There's too much slope. Okay. This one we can use the taxiway trick again, because that one should give us some benefits of that. Build taxiway from there to there. Just land an airplane here. The game is just like, no, I don't think so. And to which I say, yes, I do think so. Let me do it. Okay. That's about as nice. I'm going to get that slope. So let's continue what we started. This side of the track first. Sure, you're not actually going down the hill that you just built. So you may as well make that happen. And then we're going to make this happen. And then this, I am not very concerned about yet what exactly we're going to do with it. And there's also the part of, are you going to put a rail distribution office behind it? Are you going to just drive around the whole thing? What do you want to do here? I would say that I prefer the loop-de-loop versions because they are more flexible than a terminal solution, which means track, you would go in here, you would with that go on the outside of all of this. And make sure that you can connect to the shortest turn. That looks good. You would go in there. No, you wouldn't. Make all of these tracks come out at least to this spot. And I think there's going to be a little bit of kinkiness going on here with the mountain that they're kind of loading onto. How is it? Honestly, not that bad. Surprising, but okay. You would just connect right into there, and then hopefully the others kind of just fall right into lockstep. There's one. Okay, this one I'm guessing is going to give me some trouble. Yep, that one is not very happy. If you want to do this, you probably have to do it from the inside out. Okay, I can probably make that happen. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Gone, gone, gone. Little back, little back, little back, little back. And tracking again. You would go there. Okay, you would go there. Okay, great. So far, so great. That one's also good. Lucky, somehow. F4 should turn off the ugly snapping. That's better. And then this one's the last one. Is this going to look like the ugliness that we had in the main city before? I don't know, but this should definitely help us a little bit with all the things that we want to do. And it's a very easy, okay, put a rail distribution office right here that's responsible for coal type of situation where we don't have to really think that much. Did B-Ball Joe overbuild this? I don't know. I am anticipating a lot of smaller trains, smaller distribution office trains to come through here and pick up coal for different situations in the Republic. So I think it's okay. I think it could have been a little smaller, but I don't know that I want to go smaller on the loader side. So what I'm saying is I think it's an okay size for what we need here. Let's continue that. No, I would like you to go here. F4. I think that's fine. Cool. So that one connects to this thing. No crossing. That's good. And then there's going to be one crossing right here. I could try to go underneath. Do you want to go underneath and be cute? I kind of want to be cute a little bit about this. So let's see. If I would run, let's take these two out just for a second. If I would run a piece of track down here, that would then connect to this thing. I don't like that connection at all. Try again. Honestly, that's fine. If you go there, I just need to get up this hill. You're up the hill. Cool. Then you connect into this thing. That's great. All we need now is the rail bridge to kind of connect to the thing that it already connected to earlier, just a couple minutes ago, which is just like, nope, it's not going to happen. Okie dokie. Let's see. Bridge pillar collision somewhere along the way. That's not ideal. But I think the answer to that is simply going a little lower with what we already have here, and that's something we can totally do because we've done it now 20 times. So lower the area, 25 to 30. Yeah, we need at least 10 meters clearance here, otherwise it's not going to work. So let's get the road further back. Let's get the rail a little further back. But you know what I'm doing here, right? All I'm trying to do is make another underpass for the rail, so the rail doesn't block itself either, just like the rest of the system here. And I feel pretty confident that that is very possible. I just have to actually make it work. Because we are not required to have this road run the way that it's running, and this rail can also go outside the norm a little bit. Let's just make this lower. We gotta get close to 21 meters. That would be great. Or 20 meters actually is what I was looking for. Then we're gonna run our... Actually, in this case, I'm going to run the taxiway again. Just where we need the middle. Perfect. That's one side, and the other side does the same thing. Beautiful. So far, so good. Road construction goes to down here, 5 meters down, and then 5 meters up. Rail construction, you know what your drill is, so you go down here and come back up there. Keep it kind of smooth. Take this one back because it's complaining. Keep it kind of smooth. There you go. I know you want it. Do it. Do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Just a little more. The game is not actually doing any terraforming. It's just doing annoying things with the path that I gave it. Come on. Just a little bit yellow. A little bit yellow going up there. That'd be great. Sometimes the game stops doing it from one side and then you can try to do it from the other side. And sometimes that works and sometimes it causes all kinds of havoc. But that looks like it kind of worked out. We have a lot longer piece of bridge now, which is not the end of the world, actually. Especially since we can see exactly where the lowering is starting. I don't like that. F4. Yep, there we go. And then do this again. Nope. Nope. Lame. Is there any way that we can get this over here that is not completely hideous? Let's take those back. That's the last thing we're going to do today. Don't worry. Wow. Hour 5. You were so good on time, and then you screwed it up in the last 15 minutes. to do something that's completely not necessary in this situation, but you did it anyway, so well done. Okay, there is definitely a trigger that lets us out. Let's make sure that we use the same snapping point over here and the same snapping point over there, but that is the thing that actually makes this break. Okay, I saw a different green. It is really just the rail track down there that's causing the issue, but I don't really want to get rid of the rail track down there, so we may as well finish this out strong. You. Okay, that's fine. If that's where you want to go, just make it happen from both sides. Why is it not working on the other side? That is very annoying. I don't have a different bridge really available that has bigger pillar spacing. I mean, there's 39 meters versus 23 meters, so okay. I think I will do everyone a favor if I just call this one good. Extend it to the end of the ridge here. This one does the same thing. You're not actually sure if this is straight anymore, is it? Are you? No. Connect it to there. Get our rail connection, and then we have a curvy bridge going through there, and now everything's kind of aligned. Is there a lot of bumpage? Honestly, no. The bumpage is very appropriate. The thing that I don't like is how the pillars don't align at all on this bridge. So let's try that again. Maybe I didn't do it from the same side. That's better. Now they're at least aligned here and kind of aligned there. And the train just has to sneak around it. Don't mind it. That's all fine. Let's build it. Cool. Thank you so much for watching. I know what I'm going to do, what we're going to be working for in this run of Workers and Resources. I am very excited because I was kind of going around things a little aimlessly, but now things are clearing up. Things are making more sense. I know what I want to do. There's still a lot of stuff in the city here that has to be done. We still need the heating plants. Probably a couple ones will go over there. Potentially a couple ones will go out here. Are they going to be in walking range? Potentially of a few buildings at least. I mean, we could, well, I don't want to stack the heating plant pollution in this area, do I? Less than a cloud. You can stack the heating plant pollution over here next to the factory production set you kind of want to throw in there, but don't go crazy. Don't go crazy just yet. All of these things, however, I'm super happy to just turn construction on those on, so let's make that happen, just mostly on the gravel side. Obviously, there's more to do. If you don't mind, I will turn these off, actually, because we don't have to worry about the coal side. There is industries that we don't have connected yet. There is this track probably will go down to the incinerator at some point, then we can separate there, and we can get the track back up on here. There's currently no extra fuel or refueling station anywhere. That probably has to happen out here at some point in the near future. How are you guys doing in general? In general, you're doing just fine. Would you mind also acting on this guy? That'd be great. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, this is probably what needed to happen here, but at this point I can, yeah, I should extend my rail construction zone, so let's do that right now. Let's get another crossing over here. This crossing needs to have enough room, but that crossing's purpose is to get the rail construction cranes closer to the construction that they're actually going to work on, and everyone else away, and we can signal this up so the train's going to wait here instead of, you know, half a mile, 3 miles away over here before it goes into the right direction, and that should all be good. I don't know where that crane is going. I hope it's not going to a stupid location, but only one way to find out. How are you guys doing? I think you want more buses doing something here. How is the bus doing? That's not a bus. This is a bus. The bus was probably semi-full, but that bus really doesn't transport that many people. Maybe this is an excellent place. Actually start, because we have 10 machines over here. Maybe it's an excellent place to say, well, we could just replace all the buses that we have currently going to the chemical plant with... No, I didn't want you to leave. I wanted to actually follow this guy around. That'd be great. That we replace all the buses for the chemical area with the modern buses, because they should be able to transport more people. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But here's our Cableway ride that is happening, and it's happening really well. We can get rid of the buses that are going over here. because this should fulfill all the needs for at least 2 of the industries that we have sitting in this area, which is great, which also means this one can probably get turned on at some point. We are out of fabric, so this one should help with the fabric coming in a little more. That's nice. Workers full, not full yet. Nobody's living with their parents. 42% healthy people. That's all good. Waste separation, sure, let's get started on that so we can plan that next time too. Think we're good. I would still love to I'm just dragging this out, aren't I? Yes. I would like to see an asphalt paver. I haven't seen a P paver come through. Prison bus, no. There's no paver yet. Once that one shows up, I think we're going to start on asphalting all the things that need to be asphalted, but for right now, it's not a high enough priority where that matters. Speaking of priority, something that I should do right now is allow that guy to pick up gravel from there and bring it down here. Unload gravel. Yes, pick up gravel from there. That looks good. 30% is probably a good number, and you're currently only allowed to get gravel from the customs house whenever that's appropriate, which also means this distribution office is no longer responsible for bringing stuff out to the not chemical plant, Dundee construction office. Yes, you no longer have to get any of that stuff, which means you no longer need this, and you're only supposed to do coal, and coal is being delivered to all of these places efficiently, which means I can probably start looking at the distribution offices that we have out here to replace whatever they were doing that's no longer needed, which is exciting. Okay, what was the difference here? I kind of want to do the buses right now. If I look at you a little closer, you can do 30 workers. If I look at the new bus, this one, you can do 52 workers. Yes, I think that is a very easy answer. Okay. Should we replace all of them or just the ones that are on this line? Honestly, just the ones on this line are probably sufficient, which should be this one. And most of them are the same buses. The problem is the replacement may be a little annoying. Let's see what we can do. There's a tiny little bus. That's just for our... That's a different place. 13,000. I can afford that. Let's get 3 of them in here. Yeah, sorry. We're dragging this out, but I want to see if I can replace these very easily. Okay, so if I have you all come in here, click on you. Vehicle replacement button is not here. Okay, got it. So what I have to do is actually click on this, and then tell them that one. Then click on this one, and then replacement, and click on that one. And I just have to do this manually. Okay, not ideal, but I think I will survive. As Aretha Franklin already has said. But this is fine. Cool, yeah, I'll probably replace all of those and keep going with the things that we've been doing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. And production is up, money is up. How much are we making a month now? 151. That is bigger than what we had before, so that's exciting. But there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.